Hello, this is Kevin from Real Boring Flips, and I'm down at the storage unit, the big storage unit, to go over. Just had one sold that I wanted to talk about, and then I also wanted to tell you and show you my biggest disappointment with ShopGoodwill. So the first thing I'm here for, and I mentioned this, I'm sure I've mentioned, the idea that you should really try different categories of sales. Like, I've tried shoes, clothes, don't like them, still sell them on occasion, but don't like them. Books is another thing that I have a love-hate relationship with because I think because I thought that would be a good avenue, and at one time I had intended on selling on Amazon, and I thought, well, if I'm going to sell books, I should just sell them on Amazon and get started with Amazon. My problem is I just don't, at the current time, I just don't have the extra time to sell on Amazon and make it pay for the investment. I do have a lot of fiction books that I've kind of held on to just because they're $2 or $3 items that I don't really want to deal with on eBay unless I can lot them together. So my love-hate relationship with books, I think, started at an online estate sale. I ended up buying a bunch of books. A lot of them were like religious themed, some Bibles, some commentary, and then just religious authors. And by the time I got all that loaded into my car, this was a not easy place to get in and out of. I had to carry boxes of books down 2 flights of stairs and then down a steep driveway to my car. By the time I got done with that, I just hated books. And so I really didn't do anything with those books for a while. We were in the process of selling our house, so I moved everything to a storage, actually not even a storage unit, into my in-laws' garage. I had tons of books, boxes of books there. So I really just forgot about them. It wasn't until this last year where I dug them out. Actually, they needed their garage back, so I dug them out and I just decided I'd go through these books. And a lot of them were the same author, so I was able to lot things together and sell them that way. And I've sold a lot of them that way. Now, whether or not I'm making a ton of money, I'm way in the black on what I invested, but these are I just put them out there as lots and wait for them to sell. This is what sold today, and I'll flip you around here. So this is a box of, let's see if I can control my camera here. So this is a box of C.S. Lewis books, and there's a bunch of books from there's a few duplicates too, from the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe series, a couple of different versions. Here's a full set of 6, not in mint condition, but nice if you've got these and you want to put them together. And then also a lot of his really good nonfiction books. And if you don't know who C.S. Lewis is or never read C.S. Lewis, these are definitely worth your time. Just well written to the point where easy to read and understand. So anyway, this set of, I forget how many are here, probably 25 or so. This sold for $130, so somewhere around there. But why I priced them that way, just based on what I saw as previous comps. So that's really how I do my pricing, is I look for whatever has sold previously, and depending on what I think my condition is, I'll either increase it or decrease it. And then, for books, the shipping isn't bad. Even a big box like this is not bad. I do take offers. In this case, the buyer didn't want to do an offer. They just wanted to do the purchase. So these are going to go out in tomorrow's mail. So I'm getting that ready. So the reason I'm doing this next part of the video here at the storage unit is I moved this item down to the storage unit. Basically just because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it other than make some content out of it. This was an item, one of the first few items that I bought on ShopGoodwill for resale. it actually arrived at my house while I was on vacation. I think I was actually either in Germany or on my way to Germany on a cruise ship. And luckily my daughter messaged me and said, "Dad, you got a problem." So I don't have the box that it came in, but I'll describe it for you. A very large box, and it'll make more sense when I show you the item, but this is like about a 40 or 50 pound piece of electronics. This was placed into a large cardboard box. 3 pieces of bubble wrap were laid on it, and then it was put into a box that was probably about 8 inches longer and about 6 inches wider, and I would say about 5 inches taller than the item. Thankfully, the Goodwill store that packaged this, they did write glass on the top of the box, so that really helped FedEx out, so they would know how to be careful with this item. This was such a rare item, and by the description and the fact that it came with the user manual and just the photos led me to believe that it was in working condition. It's clearly not in working condition now, and I think I paid with shipping. I think I paid about $130, and when my daughter messaged me, that really torqued me, and so I reached out to the seller, which I can't remember where this. I think it came from somewhere on the East Coast or near the East Coast. Messaged them, told them how disappointing this was, because I had pictures. My daughter sent me pictures of the package, of the packing material, the box, the item, just how disappointing that was. They didn't respond at all. They just refunded my money. So super disappointing. So just to give you an idea, the comps, these are pretty rare, but there was a comp on a one that was indicated did not work at all, and it sold for $600. In my case, I'm pretty sure this one was working, and it came with a tape. The tapes are very valuable, and I'll show you in just a second. So when I did get home, the first thing I did was pop the tape out, because I thought, well, hopefully I can at least sell the tape. And I'm glad I did that before I plugged it in, because as soon as I plugged it in, it starts going, and now you can't even open the tape drawer anymore. So the tape would have been stuck in there. So fortunately, I've got the tape, and I should be able to sell that as for probably $30 to $40. But I'll show you the item now, and then I can describe it for you, because it looks a lot like stuff you probably see on your Goodwill shelves or even at estate sales, but it's much rarer, and it's different than what you might think. So I'm going to flip it around here. So that's actually the back of my car. So this looks like an old school VHS player. It's made by Sanyo, but it's actually it's called a V-Cord. So it's a color video cassette recorder, but it's V-Cord model VTC 8200. And unfortunately, I can't eject it anymore. But these were very similar to VHS, came out before VHS, and the reason, the thing that, technology-wise, they were probably similar. The thing is, though, movie studios picked VHS and sort of picked Betamax as the standard for pre-recorded movies. No pre-recorded tapes, as far as I know, exist for this type of machine, V-Cord. And I'll probably include a picture. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'll just include a picture of the tape as part of this video. But you can obviously see this thing showed up just completely mangled, and for someone like me who really is into vintage electronics, so disappointing. So disappointed. Whoever you are from Goodwill, sorry, that might be a name, so I'll just cover that up. so disappointed that this was packed like that. I mean, I can't even fathom why someone would think that putting a 40-pound piece of electronics in a cardboard box with three pieces, three 12 by 12 pieces of bubble wrap in the box would work, would get the item safely to its destination. This is my big gripe with here, I'll flip you on. This is my big gripe with ShopGoodwill is that, okay, we're gonna remove you resellers from the process and we're gonna sell direct. Now, I've shown in other videos I take great pride in my feedback on what the feedback especially related to my shipping. If you look at my feedback on my store, most of my feedback discusses the quality of my shipping and packing material. I take great pride in that, and of the items that I've gotten from ShopGoodwill, it's been hit or miss. I've had a few that were really nicely packed, maybe even more than I would have done. I think because they have an endless supply of packing material. So in this case, this should have been packed probably in a few inches of styrofoam, tightly packed, and then in probably a double box. That's how I would have shipped this. Would have packed it in one box and then packed that box in another box. But clearly, ShopGoodwill is not replacing eBay resellers or resellers in general, because they don't even need to. They can do this, refund your money, and move on to the next item. There's no negative feedback to give on ShopGoodwill. I mean, I've had a few other items where I've had to discuss things with the seller, with whatever store sold the item, and they've been very good about responding. In one case, they said they couldn't do anything, but then they did it anyway, I think after they thought about it. But there's no real feedback mechanism for the buyer on ShopGoodwill. You are probably just going to get your money back if there's a problem with the item. My first item I bought there for resell was a JVC Super VHS player, and I paid quite a bit for it, but I sell those for everyone I've sold has been in the $300 to $400 range. And when I got the item, it had a tape in it. Now, none of the pictures showed a tape. There was nothing that in any of the description said, hey, a tape is stuck. And so that was super disappointing, but I reached out to them and said, hey, this is the issue. And they said, you can go ahead and return it. We'll send you a shipping label. So I shipped it back to them. And so that was nice, because I don't think they had to do that. But it looked like maybe they made the listing and then someone tried to tape in it and it stuck in. So they just whatevers. So I'm gonna do a little more showing you on this item though, because it is pretty unique. And so if you're out there and you see one, it's gonna look just like a VHS player, an old school VHS pop-up VHS player, but you can find a few distinct things on it. So let me switch you around here. So obviously this thumb control here. So obviously that V cord is what you're looking for. That will tell you that this is not VHS. And Sanyo did use cord as part of a lot of their VHS and Betamax players. So I have a Sanyo Beta cord, but this is V cord. But otherwise, it looks very similar. It's got this, same kind of, selections, the tape control, inputs. Here's your channel selector, because you're gonna tape, Monday Night Football. So let's see if I can flip this around. It's, like I said, it's heavy. It's probably 40 to 50 pounds. And yeah, I'm not too concerned about it bouncing around now. So you can see the back here is just kind of bashed in here. This is all busted over. This whole thing has been pushed in. But this was kind of interesting. These are not your standard inputs. So they would have had, I can't remember. These are like a coax input. similar to what you know from like your cable TV, but this is a different style. But you got a camera input here, which is kind of interesting. I'll have to do some more research because I do have the manual and see if I can figure out what kind of cameras you could get with this thing. But you could, if this didn't show up all beat up, I could plug in, an antenna in here, a digital converter. I could plug that in and actually input a signal right through here and tape it just as a way to test this. But other than the fact that it's all broken and beat up now, it's pretty nice looking. I mean, you got this nice fake wood side stuff. I don't know if there's anything on the bottom to look at, but oh yeah, here we go. Here's something else. Oh yeah, it's talking. It's upside down here, but basically telling you about this. Oh, I guess there's an RF unit. That's what's inside there. Huh. Might have to take that apart, just look at it. But other than the fact that it's broken, it's a pretty cool thing. Super disappointed, like I said. So let me know if you've had what your experience with ShopGoodwill has been, and then also let me know if you've ever heard of this, ever seen a V-cord before, or even know what that is. I did a little bit of research when I was first looking at this item while it was still listed for sale. And like I said, I was super excited to get it, super disappointed when it arrived. So ShopGoodwill, do better. You can do better than this. You want to replace resellers, do better. You got to do better than this. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And as always, like I say, if you don't like it, please tell me in a comment what you don't like. And if at all possible, don't dislike the video. It kind of wrecks my ability to get the videos seen as I'm trying to build this channel. So thank you again. And the next time I see you, I'll be back at the apartment. So please come and join me again. Okay, this is a bonus clip. So in the middle there is the V-cord tape. And this was V-cord 2, which I learned allowed for 120-minute recording time. So that's why it's called the V100. On the left is the standard VHS tape, and then on the right here is a standard Betamax tape. And I'll show you around this V-cord tape a little bit. So obviously much different than what you know if you have seen VHS or Betamax, but in the end the technology is pretty similar. It records an analog video image onto the tapes, and I haven't comped what just a standard tape is, but this one looks like it's been recorded too. That was the whole point that I was hoping to be able to do, was to find out what was on the tape. Hopefully the player worked, and it did. It does run. I mean, it was running when I got it broken, but running, so it did at least operate. So unfortunately, I'll probably just hang on to this for a while. I don't think I'll ever find another V-cord, but if I do, I'll have a tape. Otherwise, at some point, I'll probably just sell this. I do have quite a collection of various formats. Somewhere I've got a U-matic tape laying around, and I kind of keep those just so I have a tape to try, or just whatever the media is, mini disc, laser disc, CED, whatever, so that I have a piece of media to try if I end up with hardware. So this will probably just go into my semi-collection for now, and hopefully someday I'll find another V-cord and I can see what's on this tape. So thanks for joining, and hope you enjoyed the rest of the video.